Hey everybody, Zach Primrose from Primrose Productions Music here. Got a really cool video for you today. Today we're going to be talking about the Xvive U2 guitar wireless system. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's a wireless system that's literally condensed down to just two little plugs. Traditional wireless systems, you'll have the big transmitter with like the antenna on it, and then the receiver pack that has to you gotta clip to your pocket or your guitar strap or something. And they're pretty big and cumbersome. They work well, but they're big, and they're just a little too much to have to deal with in most live settings for your average band. When you're setting up in like a small club or something, you don't want to have to deal with setting up a whole wireless rig, and it's a pain, and it's a lot of work for like a smaller stage. But these little things, they're tiny and they work great. I'm holding it upside down. These little things are tiny and they work great, and yeah, so let's check it out. So in the box, you're gonna get, first of all, a charger for them. It's just a USB dongle. It'll plug into any USB anything, and it has two charger ports on the end. I don't know if you guys can see that, so you can plug both in at the same time. So anyway, you get two little jacks here. They plug right into your guitar, they can end into the amp, and they can fold any which way, and you know, they're tiny and they're great. So you have your receiver, you have your transmitter, and basically, yeah, just one end plugs into your guitar, and one end plugs either into your pedal board, which then runs into your amp, or directly into your amp. And let me just real quick show you how they work. Hope you guys can see this. There's an on switch and there's a channel button. So when you turn these on, the blue channel light is gonna flash. Whatever number of times it flashes, that's what channel it's on. So this one, so that flashed 4 times, so that's on channel 4. So that's the receiver. So the transmitter, when you turn that on, it should flash the same. Yep, so they're both on channel 4, and they have 5 channels. But now that they're connected, you can see that the blue light is steadily on the receiver. So, and then if you wanted to change the channel, you just tap the channel button and make sure you're counting the flashes to make sure that they're both on the same correct channel. And if you aren't sure, then again, just the little blue light there is steadily on the receiver once they're connected. Now, this doesn't help you when you're trying to set up multiple ones of these. If, let's say, your whole band is trying to use these, that's probably the only complaint that I have about them, is that they don't have a screen that tells you what channel it's on. So you can easily compare one set to the other to make sure that you're not on the same channel, because if you're on the same channel as somebody else in your band, then that's going to cause serious problems with the connectivity. But anyway, that's the only complaint I have. Otherwise, these things are really good. So anyway, right now we have the transmitter plugged right into the guitar here, and the receiver's plugged into the amp, which is maybe 3 feet that way. It's on that wall. You guys have seen it if you've seen my studio tour or any of my amp reviews and everything. It's literally right there. But as you can see, we have sound. So today we're going to put them to the test. I'm going to show you. We're going to film playing right next to the amp, and we're just going to get farther and farther and farther away. We go all the way outside, and we'll see where it starts to break up and if it does. And anyway, yeah, let's see what happens. So this is going to be really straightforward. We're just going to basically get farther and farther away from the receiver and see how well the signal holds up. So right now, we're about 2 feet away from the receiver. So it works. Okay. Alright, so now we're in the same room as the cabinet, but not the same room as the receiver and the amplifier. So we're about 15 feet away from the receiver at this point and through a wall. Still working. So now we're about 25 feet away from the receiver and we're outside. So we're through like 2 or 3 walls at this point. Still working pretty good. Let's keep walking. All right, now we're probably a good 50 feet away from the receiver and obviously still outside, so it's still through a bunch of walls. So this is going to get harder and harder on my end because we're outside of the building, so it's getting pretty hard to hear the amp. So I'm going to try and keep listening for it and hope that I can hear it. Let's keep moving. All right, we're probably about 100 feet from it now. Okay, it sounds like it's working from here. It might be breaking up a little bit. All right, 150 feet away. Yeah, still working pretty good, it sounds like. Again, we're getting farther and farther away, so it's harder for us to hear it because it's inside the building, but and now we're about 200 feet away. We're starting to hear some delay in the signal, but it's still traveling. It's just off time at this point. And bear in mind, that's the time it takes for the signal to travel to the receiver and for the sound to travel back to us before we can hear it. So technically, there and back, it's 400 feet. So, but 200 feet away from the receiver. So it's still working pretty well at 200 feet, but bear in mind, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of an open field. If this were like in the city, there would be a lot more interference. So bear that in mind. But let's keep walking, see how far away we can get. All right, we're probably 250, 275 feet away, somewhere in there. You're getting a lot of delay in the signal. I can't tell from here if it's breaking up or not because I'm just hearing like barely sound coming back at me, but
sounds like it is.
Yeah, it sounds like we're starting to get breakup, but it's hard to tell from here. I'll be able to tell in post, but
That's true.
yeah, it's quite a distance for this sound to be traveling, but we're still getting some sound out of it, which at almost 300 feet, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, what was the price point on that thing?
Yeah, it was like $100.
Yeah.
$150 maybe, but yeah, it's not that expensive, and we're getting almost 300 feet of range out of it.
Maybe half that if you're between walls and stuff, but
Let's do one more distance. Let's try and get about 400 feet away, and we'll see what happens.
yeah, the only other furthest point is
that point might be right. Getting eaten alive for you people right now by these fucking mosquitoes. So you better appreciate it. All right. We are as far away from the receiver as I can physically get without leaving my property. Again, it sounds like delay from the distance and a little bit of breakup, but it's hard to tell. Alright, there's so many fucking bugs. We're done. We're going inside. So as you guys can see from that clip, these are really effective. They work really well through walls, and they were getting good signal up to almost 200 feet. And after that point, we were still getting some signal across, but we got all the way to 400 feet and we're still getting signal across. It was breaking up at that point, but the fact that we were hearing anything at that point is amazing to me. It started to break up right around 275 feet, and that's understandable. That's a really far away for it to be transmitting, and I can't think of any situation where you're going to need to be playing 300 feet away from your amplifier. So for pretty much any show situation, these are fantastic. If you're looking for a wireless setup, these are a great way to go. And the best part is they're really inexpensive. I think mine was $154, I believe is what they were. And yeah, for 154 bucks, you can't beat that shit. They work well at a great distance through walls. And yeah, so I highly recommend those if you're looking to get into wireless for the first time. Wireless can be fun at shows because then you can, walk out and play in the audience, so you can interact with your audience better. And as musicians, we always like to be able to do that whenever we can. So if you're thinking about it, I would recommend the Xvive U2 guitar wireless system. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found that video helpful. If you liked the video, hit the like button, leave me a comment and tell me what you liked about the video. Were you surprised at how far it was able to go before it broke up? Let me know in the comments. If you feel like it, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. It really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.